Before we begin, I wanted to let everyone know that Lanco Federal Credit Union is a 2019 Diamond sponsor of Main Street Mount Joy, and they are also our video sponsor, so please check them out. Lanco FCU is a not-for-profit financial institution owned by their members, and with over 10,000 members, you are likely to have friends, family, coworkers, and neighbors who are already member owners. Instead of paying shareholders, they return excess earnings to their members through competitive rates on deposits and loans, rewards programs, lower fees, and so much more. So check them out at www.lancofcu.com.
Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk to you with the first step on taking your business to the next level. And we're in my workshop again because we're going to be using some examples from my woodworking business to give you some real life examples of what you can do and what I'm doing personally to take my woodworking business from this level maybe to this level and then beyond that as well. The first thing you need to do is write a plan. You have to have some sort of written document that kind of tells you what your goals are, what you're going to measure, how you're going to do it, and who's in charge of doing it. And keep in mind that it doesn't always have to be you as a person in charge of doing everything. If you did, you're going to burn yourself out. So find some other people in your company or find some help. Main Street Mount Joy can help you. Other organizations or other businesses could even help you take you from this level to this level. If you have ever driven a long distance in a car and you don't know where you're going, chances are you probably have used either a map or a GPS. Imagine driving from here to Oregon and not knowing the roads and trying to figure out how you're going to get from here to Oregon. One of the things you could do is just start driving on the turnpike and go as far as the turnpike goes, and then find the next interstate and take that and hope that that's in the right direction, and take another interstate and hope that's in the right direction. And eventually you will end up in Oregon, but it probably might take you 4 or 5 times longer than what you really wanted to do to get you to Oregon. If you have a map, you can go ahead and you can actually draw the route on the map and get you from one place to another exactly the way you want it to go. If you have a GPS, again, you could just start driving wherever you want to go and put in your end destination, and the GPS will tell you, are you going on the right road or are you not going on the right road? And you'll hear that recalculating over and over and over until you actually get onto the road. It's a good thing to listen to a GPS because they will also tell you turn left in 1,000 feet, turn right in 500 feet. If you write any kind of plan to help get you from this level to this level, that's exactly the same thing a GPS does. So when you have a plan, think about a strategic plan, not necessarily one that you'd have to write for your business, but along the same concept. If you've ever written a strategic plan or if you've ever seen a strategic plan, it could be a thick document or it could be a thin document, and it can have multitudes of goals or 4 or 5 goals. When I write strategic plans for companies, I like to keep the goals relatively minimal, no more than 5 goals if we can avoid, doing more than 5. And I try and keep some really lofty goals in there, but I also try and keep some goals that are attainable. That's one of the tricks for getting your business from here to here. If you know where you are now and you know where you want to be, there could be a long distance between those 2 points. So if you just shoot right for this right away, chances are you're probably going to fail and get very frustrated. But if you set little goals along the way that take you from each step, and then eventually those steps add up to here, you're going to be able to celebrate when you reach a goal. The goals are going to be easier to attain, and they're going to be more reasonable to actually get you from here to here, because what you're really doing is getting you from here to here. And once you reach that part, you can stay here for a little bit and then go to here and take your little baby steps all the way up. There are some times where you do want to do a big jump, where you want to go from here right to here, because maybe your competition is here and you're still down here. So you may not have the time or the flexibility to take the baby steps. You have to go right where your competition is. So my advice to you is to please write a plan out. Sit down, do it when you're not at work, do it on the weekend. Do it while you're watching TV. Just take some time to really think about what you want to do. When I write strategic plans, they could take weeks, months even to put a good strategic plan together. The longest time it took me was about 4 months from start to finish to put a plan together for a company. The shortest amount of time, about a week. The company knew exactly where they wanted to go. They actually gave me some of the goals that they wanted to do. They gave me their competition, and I was able to kind of bang it out, in a relatively short period of time. But really take your time. It's your business. Talk to your employees, talk to your spouses, talk to your friends, talk to your customers. Ask your customers where they want to see your business go. Take a look at your competition especially. Find out what your competition is doing. Why are they doing something maybe better than you are? What are their tricks? Some competition is friendly. You can go out and ask them like, hey, how did you do this? What were your challenges? They may be willing to tell you. They may not be willing to tell you. In the web design industry, in the very beginning, when I first did my web design business years and years ago, competition was very friendly. I could call up a couple other web designers and we can talk about it. It's gotten very fierce, and that's kind of why I got out of the industry. I just didn't like the way people were treating other, competitors. In the woodworking industry, it's a little bit different. It's very few competitors, and I'm doing a niche market where I'm doing bowls and other products like these little Christmas ornaments, doing some wooden Christmas ornaments. And I'm actually branching out. I'm doing something which is a small step for me. So in my goals, my goal up here is to have 40 products that I can offer people. And right now I have about 7 or 8. So I've been spending the past couple of months actually trying to create a new product. And that's one of my goals, is to create a new product every year. Eventually I'll get up to 40 products, but I'm hoping it's not going to take me 40 years. The first thing I want to do is come out with a new product for my shows. So I have a show coming up in April. I want to have a new product for that. I have another show in November, and I want to have a new product for that. And next year I may be doing 5 or 6 shows, so I might want to have 2 or 3 new products as I build them. So one of the products I'm working on right now is a flute. I don't play flute. I don't know how to play flute. I do know people that do play flutes. One of the products that I'm trying to create is something unique for music. I want to be able to get into music. So I could build guitars, I could build mandolins, and those are products that I want to do later on. But one of the things I want to do is a flute, because I don't know anybody else that does wooden flutes. So for me, growing my business from here to here, having these niche items that no one else does is really important to me. That may not be a goal of yours. Everyone will have different goals, but to me, this is a goal for me, is to have something very unique. So I've been investigating, and I've come up with 7 or 8 different ways of doing flutes, and I have drawings of, see if you can see it on here with my light. I have drawings of flutes on here, and I have measurements, and I have diagrams, and I have all these different things about doing flutes. I still cannot get this thing to play. It looks like it should play according to the diagrams, according to everything else. I can't play flute, and the people that I've given it to are having a hard time playing it too. So this is one of these things where, even though it's a goal of mine, I'm going to still work on it, but I'm not going to give it up, but I may kind of overskip it and go to the next goal and come back to that one. But the concept of the goal is something that's always going to be there, where I'm coming out with a new product, regularly, whether it's once a year, every show, however often I can get to it. So that is one of the mini goals to me. And then my ultimate goal is, having 40 products that most woodturners don't have that many. So it's something that I can do for myself. It's something that for my business will make me unique and stand out. And it's where I want to take my business. So when you're thinking about your business, think about where you are now, think about where you want to go, and write it out. Write the plan out. I have a plan, I don't know, it might be about that thick, with all the things that I could do in my business, when I want to do them, how I can get to them, and I look at it every couple of months and I check things off and I see if I'm following that pattern that I wanted to put to get me from here to here. So that's the same thing that you should do. Now, if you're having problems with this, don't hesitate to call me at Main Street. I will be glad to come down and sit down with you and say, what are your goals? Let's look at your competition. I could do some market research for you and tell you what your competition is doing. I could tell you what people are doing in other states. I could get some demographic data that might help you out as well. So please use me. There's no charge if you're downtown Main Street. If you're out of our zone, give me a call and we'll figure out how we can work together. It might be something like just sponsoring one of our events or coming out as a vendor or something like that, which can help you get our services. So there are multiple ways that we can help you out, even if you're not inside our district as well. So that's it for this week. Start working on your goals. Next week, we're going to talk about the next step in building your business from here to here. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys give me a call and let me help you out. Thanks.